Welcome to Season 4, Sailing Adventures of SV Angelique of Vancouver. In 1994, we bought our tiny home at Coast 34 and dreamed of sailing around the world. After 25 years living full-time aboard our tiny home and the realization that it was later than we think, we decided to set sail for Mexico and the Caribbean. The last few seasons, our adventure has been cut short due to deaths of parents, both Mike and myself. And last year, the added trouble of COVID-19.
Welcome back. In this episode, we do more yacht maintenance in Mazatlán, and our engine heat exchanger tries to end our season before it even begins.
Something about a boat sitting on the sea out there in the wind.
Please whack the like button and subscribe.
Take you around the world, bring you back home.
He jumped from the dinghy over onto the boat next door. He's moving into the boat next door. See, he's made the main sheet traveler.
Oh, yeah. You won't be able to see. There he is.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's giving somebody shit on the boat next door.
Yeah.
His head bobbed.
Yeah. You're making all these funny faces.
That's because it's very hard on my ribs. It's a very sharp edge right here on my ribs. Very painful.
And what are you looking for?
A fucking rinky-dink little screw.
Down to the bottom of the beam.
Of course it...
Under the engine.
Elbows in the wrong direction. Oh. Ow. That hurt a lot. That was painful. It's not a great place for a fat guy to try and get his arm. Ow, there's something really biting into the back of my head.
That would be all the hoses and the clamps.
Oh, well, they're being very uncivilized and not very nice. Ow. I might have to just concede that fucking thing is gone.
Do we have another one?
Geez, I hope so.
There's a third option. I avoid a splice altogether. We go and get an electrical cord, like an extension cord, a 10-footer, right? It's rated for that. It has a plug on one end and a plug on the other, right? Like the blue one.
Just plug it.
And I cut it off. Yeah, or we just plug it in, or I could cut off one end, take the end off the tank where the wires go on, and wire it directly, wire the plug directly into the tank with a longer cord.
Yeah, but that means getting in that hole and trying to do it.
Yes, but then I don't have any splices that I have to worry about getting wet.
I would prefer not having any splices.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
So let me see what I can do about that.
So we have to go and find a 10-foot.
Let's go see if I can get in there first at all.
Okay.
Not the easiest place for a big guy to get into and work, but you do what you gotta do on a boat.
Easy on that. You don't want to break that, because then you got no heat, kid.
I know.
You're going to be gentle with some of the things in here don't like bullets.
Be careful what you shoot at. Huh? Most things in here don't react too well to bullets.
The hot water is connected to the engine, so we have hot water when the engine runs, but it's nice to have it connected to power so that we can have hot water when we're dockside.
Something about a boat.
Plug her in, see if she flies.
See if we get a...
Out there in the wind, floating on the breeze.
How do we know if it's working?
Take
Well, eventually hot water will happen.
Well, we know that we have hot water.
Well,
Gives a man
give it 20 minutes and then try.
something about a
Okay, nothing seems to be on fire. Nothing went click.
Well, Mike is outside sanding through the deck where we pulled out the vent for the Walter instant hot water tank. I am updating our paperwork for all of the equipment that we brought down to the boat. This is my knot log, and these are all the papers required that we needed for to bring down the stuff. And then over here are all the manuals that I need to put stuff into. So that's my task for today. I like to have my paperwork together. So there.
There's the difference between
You and me, exactly.
me, criminal. Well, not really, but you know, close enough. And honest girl. She could not tell a lie.
No, exactly.
So she will have all of her paperwork in one spot.
I will have all
Me,
my paperwork in one
right.
spot, all the manuals, everything organized. Organized. I like organization.
So today, underneath my toolbox, which normally sits in here, is our one house bank, a 4D, and then the starter. A mess of wires over here, as you can see. Oh my god, what a rat's nest. Sorry about that. And then this little device right here, that's our circa 1990 battery monitoring system, which has worked, well, flawlessly until the middle of last season, where it started to act up a little bit. So I'm just going to check the connections to see if that's what's causing us some sort of grief.
It's probably the motherboard.
Well,
What have you got in my sink?
one heat exchanger for the purpose and therefore the use of. Except I've got straps on here and I have no idea how they come off.
Do they need to come off?
Not really, no. Just leave one there.
It's in rough shape.
It has seen better days. And the holes aren't as bad as I thought they were.
Let's see. Oh yeah, they're not too bad.
No. It does need to be descaled.
Yeah. Oh, into my sink. Look at that. Crap in my sink again. Why is it always in my sink?
It just has to be.
What's up with our heat exchanger?
So, this is our heat exchanger. In a
In a bath of
vinegar.
vinegar,
Yep.
water.
Vinegar and water.
Vinegar and water.
She's been in there for going on
days?
2 days now. Well, a day in the bath like this.
Yeah.
This is just 1 day. And you can see how much cleaner it's all become. Because it was getting plugged up.
It was pretty scaled inside.
It's getting pretty scaled. It is 30 years old after all. But this is the sad part. These are our brackets. Holes shouldn't look like that.
No.
This one you can see is almost right through. Almost failed. Because they started to pound out bigger, got loose, and then before I could,
We didn't know we had a problem.
well, they just started walking. And once they start walking in soft copper, they just keep going.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can
But
do
we
about
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Till we started looking at her.
Because these massive things are copper.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a little pink,
Yeah, that one is a little pink.
so it's got a little bit of galvanic,
Got a little hot.
little corrosion. But you can see that this one here is almost failed. So because they were mounted on these steel studs,
Oh, look at the studs. They're almost worn right through.
see the studs almost failed. So I got to get new ones of those. And this is the steel plate that they were mounted to. You can see there and there, and you see there's the holes. This one's almost pounded right through.
Yeah.
So
When we go to the machine shop, is there, in our manual, is there like a blowout of where those holes might be? Or will he be able to figure it out from that plate?
this is my concern as well.
I'm thinking there might be a blowout.
There's no dimensions.
No, but it give you an idea of where they...
What I have to do is, see, these are all hammered out and ruined. He can copy all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Just cut another plate, tap it where it's tapped, and that's no big deal. But
We'll
for
have to
these
drill them
holes,
out. We'll have to drill them out.
I'm thinking it might be easier for us to drill them out.
Morning.
Morning!
Morning.
I didn't realize there was two Angeliques right there. Same dock and everything.
Yeah, we're both from Vancouver too.
Really?
Yeah. In the same yacht club
Cruising
as well.
club.
Cruising club. Yeah.
So I hear you got some motor mounts.
Yeah, we do. Just hang on one sec. What you looking at, hon?
Fucking disaster.
What's the problem now?
The stud, all this stuff wore out. So we had these filled and
Yeah.
repaired. Before I drilled them, put them back on, I noticed that this stud, when I put it in, you can see the thread coming through.
Yeah, well, you can't see it when your finger in the way.
But you can see the thread coming through the top. So this, the amount of metal that's in here holding this stud in place is worn all the way. This one seems to be okay, but
And that's because those things vibrated
these things go
and
like
wore
this.
grooves into the bell housing.
Because of the way they're designed, that's what they do. They go.
Because the flimsy plate that they're on. Well, it's not the plate.
It's a
just the
flimsy
two-
plate.
It's the two mounting bracket things that are kind of hokey.
So now I'm trying to figure out some other way of mounting these SOBs.
And it has to go there because of the way the hose configuration and everything is. That's where the heat exchanger has to go.
Yep.
So what was one of the options we talked about?
We talked about lots of different plates and different things. One option is just to have a guy come out here and just weld these studs in place. So, zzz, zzz, weld them in, puddle in some metal in here, and be done with it. Just leave the studs welded in place.
But we have to find out if in Mazatlán there's a guy that will weld on the boat.
If there's somebody that is allowed to come to Marina Mazatlán
And weld on the boat.
and weld. I have a shitty feeling that no, the answer's going to be no, senor. You have to take the boat to the yard at Fonator and have it hauled out of the water, and then somebody can come on board and weld. Thanks for watching. Please whack the like button, ring the bell, and subscribe.
If you would like to become a patron, you can check into patreon.com/laterthanwethink.
In our next episode, we finally resolve all of our heat exchanger issues, and Jackie builds some dinghy chaps.
About a boat sitting on the sea, out there in the wind, floating on the free.
See you next time, and get out and do what's important to you.
It's later than we think.
Gives a man hope. Something about a boat.